不按然后就一直走吧。
我说女儿，你没见过？没有呢。
Hey, boy, I need to go with Pete. I'm doing okay. I got you done.
All right, may we have anybody come standing up will be fined $50. Yes. So we need to stay on. Oh, cool. Nice. See your name again? Charlotte.
here. Just kind of like making your way out of here. Are you great? Don't ever sit down here.
Thank you.
Same reason my audience. I always
North Las Vegas, Tom just said you guys did a great job over there. One more. No joke.
There's two takeaways. Really, the people are listening to us when we send them. I'm sorry about the
We are ready to start. Silence or not. For the first part of this program, we'd like to call on Veronica God bless.
那边位置空，你干嘛不跟他们坐？啊？那边位置空，你咋不过去跟他们坐？
我不知道。
你不知？有电话了没啊？啊？有电话没啊？
很像。
May we request everyone to please stand? From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean, lined with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
Just a few remarks. I was invited to join you this evening to provide an update on the state of the Bureau of the changing Today's FBI looks very different from the FBI established in 1908. More than 12 years have passed since the attacks of September 11. Overnight, the collective mission of law enforcement changed. And we were then left with a set of challenges that we still face today. How do we protect the country from terrorism and protect our communities from crime? How do we adapt to advances in technology and ever-evolving threats? priority. While Al-Qaeda is weaker than it was in 2001, the group remains committed to high-profile attacks against the West. They continue to use the internet and social media to inspire individuals to undertake attacks around the world without having to travel or train abroad. Last year's Boston Bears Milwaukee illustrates we face a continuing threat from homegrown violent extremists. These individuals do not share typical profiles. Their experiences and motives are often distinct. They are savvy and they are willing to act alone. As we've seen, homegrown violent extremists may plan less sophisticated lethal attacks, which take less funding, less training, and fewer operatives. At the same time, the FBI continues to confront an evolving espionage. And because much of today's spying is accomplished by data theft from computer networks, espionage is quickly becoming cyber-based. Given the impact of globalization and the wide reach of the internet, cyber intrusions are becoming more commonplace, more dangerous, and more complicated. Our children are targeted by predators, our citizens are targeted for identity theft and fraud, our companies are targeted for insider information, and our universities for their research and development. Cybercrime has become a central concern of the Bureau because every program, every mode of communication is affected and infected by technology. It is clear that cybercrime is not just a national security issue. We need to continue to identify new capabilities and leverage partnerships that transcend jurisdictional borders to better address this threat. The FBI-led National Cyber Investigative Joint Task Force comprises 19 law enforcement, military, and intelligence agencies to coordinate cyber threat investigations. Notification of a cyber intrusion to one of these agencies is notification to all. In addition, we're building stronger relationships with the private sector. Private sector companies are the primary victims of cyber intrusions, and they also possess the information, the expertise, and the knowledge to help us find and stop the individuals behind the keyboards. The FBI has also established cyber task forces in each of our 56 field offices. In Nevada, as a result of our collaborative efforts, we share the successes of both our cyber task force, which is focused on intrusions and network attacks, as well as our child exploitation task force, which focuses on crimes against children. The reality for all of us is that as threats and technology evolve, so must we. In turning to our criminal programs, the FBI continues to focus on public corruption, civil rights, white-collar crime, transnational organized crime, and significant violent crime. Public corruption is the FBI's top criminal priority as this threat strikes the heart of government, eroding public confidence and undermining the strength of our democracy. With regard to complex financial crimes, the FBI has hundreds of ongoing corporate and security fraud investigations across the country, and with the economy and housing markets still recovering in many areas, we also continue to dedicate significant resources toward combating mortgage fraud. Now, organized crime has evolved over the years as well. Back in 2001, organized crime meant the mafia. Bribes, extortions, baseball bats, and kneecaps. Today, transnational criminal syndicates run sophisticated, multi-billion-dollar fraud schemes, from the Balkans to Benin. A number of these criminal enterprises are involved in stock market fraud and manipulation, cyber-facilitated bank fraud and embezzlement, identity theft, and the trafficking of women and children. Finally, we all recognize that crime on our streets is as much a threat to our overall security as terrorism, espionage, and cybercrime. We have witnessed firsthand the devastation caused by street crime, gang activity, and senseless acts of violence. While violent crime rates have dropped nationally, we continue to see serious gang activity and street crime in pockets across the country. and increased violence on the southwest border. This is another area where our joint investigations with state and local partners have had a great impact. In closing, with all of these diverse threats, it is an understatement to say that our collective plates are full. We in law enforcement all understand that we succeed in protecting our community because of our joint efforts and strong partnerships with our community. Thank you very much for the opportunity to join me this evening.
We'd like to call Mike Viswani, President of AAG, to present a welcome.
And again, Lombardo.
Thank you all for coming. So, first event of the year, the whole first job. It is all friends and glad everyone to pray and be honored. God is doing their own fact. We didn't expect that much. Then thank all my sponsors for supporting us, without whom we cannot do that. There is a special gift, a proclamation from a good friend.
And Laura, to welcome you to the greater Las Vegas area, the Asian American Group would like to present you with this plaque, which states, the Asian American Group welcomes Laura Buchiet, Special Agent in charge of the FBI in Nevada, given this second day of April 2014 by Mike Viswani, President, and the Asian American Group Executive Board. So Laura, thank you again for all of your work. Let her hold it up too, Mike. Come on. Nothing for the camera. Thank you, Laura. It's like asking for an apology. It doesn't mean as much, does it? Thank you again, Laura. The next individual we'd like to bring up tonight is U.S. Attorney Dan Bogden. Mr. Bogden was first appointed to his post in September of 2001 by George Bush, and then in a rare showing of bipartisan support, he was nominated again in 2009 by President Obama. On September 15, 2009, he was unanimously confirmed by the United States Senate. As United States Attorney, Mr. Bogden represents the United States in all civil and criminal matters within the District of Nevada, and is our top federal law enforcement official in this state. So ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bogden.
I'd just like to take a moment to thank you here. Really is my honor to be here speaking. I think back to the first time that I had an opportunity like this 12 years ago when Mike Viswani asked me to come in and speak at this law enforcement night out. And I've gotten to know Mike in those 12 years. Mike has been a catalyst for a lot of things that we have been able to do in law enforcement. He's been able to reach to our community as well as allowing us to reach to the Asian American community. And I think he deserves a great round of applause. So Mike. We have some folks from law enforcement who have done some wonderful things for the community that certainly deserve some acknowledgement. I'm looking at one now, our Nevada Attorney General, Kathy Cortez Asst. speak before a man who I greatly respect, and who unfortunately for Clark County in the Sheriff's Department is not going to run for re-election. I've gotten to know Doug Gillespie from his service as not only the Deputy Sheriff, but also as Sheriff for Clark County. And I can tell you what a brilliant man he is, and what a great partner he has been, and what a great face he has been for law enforcement. I wanted to thank Doug for his many years of service, his many years of law enforcement, and for the great law enforcement partnership we've been able to share. Thank you, Doug. And I also get to share the stage with our Clark County District Attorney, Steve Wolfson. Here's for Steve, yeah. We are very, very fortunate in law enforcement and throughout the state of Nevada to have individuals who are all willing to work together, whether that be our federal partners, our state partners, or our local partners. And some of the task force efforts that we've been able to put together, and some of the prosecution efforts that we've been able to join in, have benefited the community, benefited the state, and kept us safe. And Steve Wolfson and the Clark County District Attorney's Office has been a great contributor to many of our task forces and many of our prosecution efforts down south. Thank you. The community owes you a great deal. Thanks for what you've been able to do for Clark County and for keeping us all safe. And to the members of the audience, I want to thank the community. We cannot do it alone in law enforcement. We know that. We certainly can't prosecute our way out of problems that we have. We need cooperation. We need assistance. I'm very proud to be at a meeting like this with so many in the crowd who are willing to assist law enforcement and in fact have an appreciation for what we do in law enforcement. As United States Attorney, it really is my honor to have a great federal workforce. My criminal chief is here, Eric Johnson. A lot of folks know Eric Johnson. He was instrumental when he was our deputy chief, working on our organized crime unit. And I know he was able to do a lot of outreach to the Asian American community, which has made great strides and has really paid off for us and assisted us in what we do. Like I said, we cannot do this all alone. As the United States Attorney's Office, we're led by Attorney General Eric Holder. Eric Holder has given us 4 priorities, made it fairly easy for us so that all the 93 United States attorneys throughout the United States have a uniform message as to what our priorities are. They're pretty simple. First priority is the war on terror and preventing terrorism. That's certainly our #1 priority. It's kind of surprising where terrorism will strike, whether that be internationally, whether it be domestically. We just had another shooting out at Fort Hood, so it's a reminder of some of the domestic issues that we have. Another reminder, we indicted in December a terrorist up in the Reno area, an individual who had left the country of India under an alias, had come to the United States and was attempting to commit terrorist acts back in India and Pakistan. He's now in custody and he's awaiting trial. That's our #1 priority, terrorism. #2 is the war on violent crime. And certainly a lot of the task force efforts that we have, and I talked about with Steve Wolfson, we have the same up north with Kihuen. We have other state folks assisting as well as the Attorney General on many of our task forces to go after gangs and violent crime. Thirdly, financial crime. I think everyone in this community is aware of some of the damage done by the mortgage fraud issues, some of the other fraud issues that we have in this community. That's priority 3. Priority 4 is to help those that are exploited. We're able to put our child exploitation programs together, as well as crimes against the elderly and other types of civil rights crimes and discrimination. Those basically are the big 4 from the Attorney General. In our district, we have some other initiatives that we've been pushing. Our Project Safe Neighborhoods initiative to attack violent crime is an effort that we use with our federal partners as well as our state partners, as well as our effort against child exploitation, child abuse, and crimes on the internet. We do that through our Project Safe Childhood initiative. We also, Laura talked about cybercrime. Certainly a growing new trend is cybercrime, some of the issues we're seeing. It really is something when folks from other nations and other countries can reach out and touch us through the internet, and they can touch us in some very, very bad ways. Certainly that's an area that we need to prioritize our law enforcement efforts. We, like I said, we're going to work together. We appreciate all our partners assisting us, and I appreciate this opportunity to speak to this crowd. And thank you for looking out for law enforcement.
Well, you don't get to sit yet. We're going to embarrass you a little more. Mr. Bogden has been, as he indicated, a long-time friend of the Asian American group, as well as Mike and Rita Maswani. And towards that end, a little while ago, Mike wanted to present him with an award as well. Now, there's almost a running joke of Asians are not the most punctual of people as a culture. Filipino time is 15 minutes late, and Indian time is 30 minutes after that. So, in that same spirit, Mike would like to present you with an award dated 2005 in commemoration of your friendship. So, for the record, we are less than a decade late, but it still rings true today, so thank you very much.
This is about 10 years ago. We had 9 years ago. We had the same law enforcement night out, and that night Dan was in a hurry to leave. So he put out his plaque, and I kept it in my house for 10 years. And I was just cleaning up, I said, oh, tonight is law enforcement night out. So I think Dan would appreciate it. It reads, Asian American Group presented to Daniel Bogden, Youth Attorney, District of Nevada, for the outstanding service rendered to the Asian American community of Los Angeles. Chairperson for the event, David Emmonsbury, Benson Lee, Dr. Raj, Prabhu, Ms. Sharma, Asian American Coordinator, Michael Swan. So almost 9 years. But we don't forget our friends, no matter what, all it is. That's what Asian community is.
Together at the state, local, and federal level. And I will tell you, I have investigators that work with the FBI. I have attorneys that are in Dan Bogden's office right now, working and looking for his prosecution. I speak on a regular basis with Sheriff Gillespie and DA Wolfson. It's just, we have constant communication. But it's important that you are all working with us as well. And one of the things that I do as Attorney General that most of the other law enforcement do not, is that I represent all the state boards and commissions. So if you have a business and you have an issue with a state board or commission, then you're probably dealing with one of my attorneys. And I always say, please come talk to me. Talk to me if you're having an issue and we can help you work through those issues with that state board and commission.
Now, enough of business. Let me just say this. I was born and raised here in Las Vegas. This is my neighborhood. I grew up right over on Penwood and Arville. I went to school in Cashman and high school at Clark High School. And this is phenomenal to see. Let me just say, growing up here, to see this cultural change and to see the Asian American community come here and grow in Southern Nevada is just phenomenal. We all know the richness that this diverse culture brings to our community. And for me, I'm so proud as somebody who grew up in this community that now I can drive down Spring Mountain and see Chinatown. We can work with our Asian American friends and partners on so many issues, and the diversity is just fantastic. And let me just put a shout out. You've heard from our law enforcement folks. We have many judges in the room who are our partners as well, and I think you might hear from some of them. But a shout out to those graduates from Clark High School that are judges. So you know, this is their community. They care. They're here because they want that open communication and dialogue with all of you as well. So thank you so much. This is my last law enforcement night out. I am termed as your Attorney General, but I hope after this year I still have the opportunity to work with so many of you and partner with you, and I make great friends with most of you, and that those friendships will continue to thrive and grow. Thank you so much. Thank you to Mike McQuarrie. Thank you to the Executive Board of the Asian American Group. You do a phenomenal job with your association and how you've grown it here in Southern Nevada. Thank you, and everybody enjoy your evening tonight.
Thank you again, Ted.